Hey, and good Monday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski coming to you back here on the Weather Nerds YouTube channel. Hope you guys had an outstanding weekend. Definitely was not bad out there, but we had a little severe weather over the weekend. A little bit of a lull yesterday, and you can kind of see that with the number of storm reports that we had yesterday. Wasn't a ton of them. Wasn't really that bad. Actually, this just jumped over to the fifth. So it was about 70 reports yesterday. We'll see how we do for today. I think a lot of the major weather is going to be coming in here across Texas, especially is going to be coming in late tonight. So we're dealing with two upper level low pressure systems that are going to be causing a lot of our havoc here across the east and to the west. So let's go ahead and dive into that. I do want to break this down for you for today. Let's go ahead and take a look at the latest conditions here for today. We're going to look at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. We're going to break this down for you here. So here we go. We got a couple areas here. You got the marginal risk up here across areas of Ohio, Pennsylvania, starting back to the mid-Atlantic. That's with one upper level low that's kind of spinning in here, right? And then you got another one that's going to be spinning out of the four corners. And this area here is going to be the higher risk for severe weather for today. This looks like this is going to be coming in for tonight, overnight type period. There will be isolated tornadoes with it. And then this complex of storms is going to start moving off to the east. And then we kind of turn our attention to more of a flooding problem going in toward Tuesday and Wednesday. But let's go ahead and talk about day one. We're talking about today. So we want to go ahead and break down the risks factors here for today. So let's first take a look at the tornado risk. Obviously not running high up here, but down here toward Texas as that storm comes out. I tell you, Texas, it's been one heck of a severe weather season for those guys. They've had a lot of activity going back for a couple of weeks again. And Midland, Franklin, Kermit, all these areas in here once again under the gun and running about a 5% risk of seeing some tornadoes in here, going down 2%, heading over toward Killeen, Austin, and near San Antonio. And again, that'll be probably getting into the early morning hours for tomorrow. And I'll show you the model data here to kind of represent that down here in just a second. All right, let's look at the wind threat here. Obviously, that's going to be a larger area, running about 15% there in yellow. Lubbock, Abilene, San Angelo, Caryville, all these areas here, including portions of southeastern portions of New Mexico under the gun there. And then obviously we got a couple of pockets here up here toward the north. We got Pennsylvania, Ohio, stretching back toward Virginia and North Carolina with, again, some of those marginal severe weather storms here across that region. And then we got a little bit down here in South Florida as well. Don't forget friends down here from Palm Beach heading down toward Miami. So that's your wind threat here for today. What about the hail threat? I guess Texas has been so hail happy, and they're going to be hail happy again today. Once again, could see some large hail. Again, this area has been inundated. I've had several opportunities where they've had up to 5 inches of hail here in recent storms in recent weeks. And I think 2 inches plus possibility once again in here for Odessa, Midland area, especially in areas south of Lubbock will be under the gun for potential large hail. So the storm chasers will definitely be out in this neck of the woods if they're going to be out at all, because it is going to be very late as this stuff's going to get firing here going into tomorrow. So again, I'm going to kind of show you the big picture here. And we'll come back and look about day two here in a second. I do want to take you a big picture here, showing you what's going on here. Again, we've got that Omega block. I'm sure you guys have heard that all over the country. We got this low pressure system that's spinning here across the Ohio Valley, and then we got another one down here. So the jet stream's kind of doing this kind of thing. It's making this Omega pattern here. So we got these two cutoff lows in here in the middle, and this is starting to eject on out. So that's what you call an Omega block that's in there. We got high pressure off eastern coast, so the storm systems aren't moving all that fast. Now, they are going to start moving here in the coming days, but again, we're going to deal with the main system coming out of the southwest. That's the stronger of the two. This is just plain old cool in here. I mean, temperatures here in the 40s and 50s here this morning. And then we'll watch this system begin to eject on out here as we go into tonight and tomorrow. And then we're going to watch areas down in here, toward Texas and Louisiana. They're going to be seeing some very, very heavy rain totals. I'm going to show you that here in a second as well as we go into the days ahead here. Oops, forgot to turn that on there. And so we're going to be seeing some pretty active weather here over the next 2 or 3 days from these complex of storms that are going to be developing here going into tonight and then going in toward tomorrow. And as a result of that, we've got the flood watches up here across New Mexico, coming all the way back toward Texas and Louisiana. This area here could be seeing some significant heavy rains with those complex storms. They're going to fire off some pretty good severe weather. We're going to head on off toward the east, and then they're going to dump very large amounts of rain, upwards of probably 5-6 inches in some localized areas. So we're going to watch that very closely as we go in through tonight especially. So I want to break down the models. I want to show you the latest on this. Let's go ahead and break this down. This is the latest high resolution model going out for 40 hours. Okay, so we're going to kind of watch as this thing kind of evolves and goes through. So I've got this thing looping right now. We'll slow it down here in a second to show you everything. But again, this low is just spinning around back out here. This is what's going to fire off these storms here as we go in toward tonight. This is what we'll watch here. We got one complex storms, and then they're going to race it off toward the east. So let me go ahead and slow this down for you a little bit here, and we'll kind of track you through this. Let me go ahead and pause that. And we're going to back this off again. The timing on this looks very late. I mean, it looks very, very late indeed. So again, this is 5, 6, 7, 8. It start getting some storms there about 10, 11 o'clock at night. So, and then they really start going right there. So this is 2 in the morning. All right, so you're looking at, this is when the tornado risk will be the highest, kind of running right through this zone, right through there. I'll go ahead and zoom in a little bit closer for you there so you can kind of take a look there on those storms. So it was some very heavy thunderstorms. Again, possible tornadoes, large hail, and this will be coming in during the wee early morning hours here. And then the storm's going to be able to move off toward the east and really span out. So it's going to be moving into Abilene, Wichita, and Oklahoma. And then we're going to tap some moisture out of the Gulf. And then we're really going to start dumping some very, kind of becomes a multicellular storm system, really, in a way. So we get a lot of heavy thunderstorms here, kind of moving it across Louisiana, Arkansas, and then going into Mississippi. So we're going to really start firing. You see these storms here firing off late in the day, going in toward tomorrow. Going into Tuesday night into Wednesday night down along the Gulf Coast. So we're going to get some very large amounts of rain coming out of this as well, along with that tornado threat that's coming. In fact, I can show you the rain total risk in here. Not bad out here in West Texas. I mean, it's going to be pretty bad. Obviously, up in here, you're looking at 3 inches, 3 inches, a lot of 3-inch totals out here, 3 inches, 3 inches up here in the Panhandle. So pretty decent rain amounts up in here. But boy, when they get over this way, and this is going out 48 hours here, you're looking at 6 inches, 6 inches here, 7 inches there, 7 inches there. So this area down here across portions of Mississippi, East Texas, and Louisiana going into Tuesday late is going to be looking at some serious potential for some flooding in those areas here as we go in toward tomorrow and in toward Wednesday morning. So this is this initial zone. We are going to get some decent rains up here toward the northeast as well, with, again, that marginal risk for severe weather. Not bad. Looks like generally 1 to 2 inches for the most part here and down along the mid-Atlantic here for tonight, going into tonight and into tomorrow. So that's what we're tracking right now. Let's go back over to that model data again. And we'll show you once again the timeline on this. Kind of watch the timestamp here. So again, the storms look like they get going here by around midnight, 11 or 12 o'clock. You kind of see those storms there really kind of getting flared up and starting to fire off in that zone. And then they're going to move off toward the east as a kind of a multicellular thunderstorms. And we'll see possible isolated tornadoes as it moves on to the east. I think it becomes just more of a wind threat as it pushes off toward the east. And then we'll see that heavy rain threat develop here going into tomorrow. Now, speaking of tomorrow, let's go ahead and look at that real quick as we're looking at the outlook for that as well. So let me go back over to the weather-wise here. And we're going to talk about day 2. So let's go and look at the day 2 outlook here. We'll get you prepared for tomorrow. And that will shift off toward the east. Now, I still suspect there's a chance that this might get upgraded to enhanced for tomorrow as well. I'd like to watch and see what the Storm Prediction Center is thinking here going into tomorrow. We'll break down the categories for tomorrow. So, again, looking at about a 5% risk for tornadoes in here from Austin, north of the Houston area, heading over toward Shreveport. So this area in here will be under the ground for possible tornadoes for tomorrow. And the wind threat obviously will be higher in that same general zone, right in the yellow. The brown is running about 5%. 15% in the yellow. And then we're looking at the hail threat. Not as bad as it's going to be today across West Texas. But again, Austin, Houston, that'll be kind of your primary zone, that little shaded area right through here. That'll be the hot zone there going in toward your Tuesday and going into Wednesday morning. And then finally, your day 3 outlook here. It looks like we just see a general thunderstorm threat. So we get a bit of a break. Hopefully by the time we get to day 3, my guess is we'll still see a marginal risk kind of popping here on day 3, I'm sure. But we'll see how this breaks down going into tomorrow. I'm sure they'll update that. So again, just kind of rehashing again what we got here for today. Going back to your day 1 outlook again, we got 2 pockets of severe weather we're watching for. A little marginal one up here across Ohio, Pennsylvania, and back over toward over to the Carolinas. But the main threat, it will be down here across Texas here, and that looks predominantly going to be a nighttime event, not so much during the day. This will be coming in for tonight and going into tomorrow morning. Keep in mind that the Storm Prediction Center, when they do those forecasts, they go from 7 o'clock in the morning one day to 7 o'clock in the morning the next day. So it's kind of going to be a Monday night into Tuesday morning type event there for Texas as those storms begin to press off toward the east. Again, I appreciate everybody checking out their update for today. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you can. Make sure you get that like button. If you got any comments, any questions, for any weather-related questions I can help you out with, please post those down below. I'll be more than happy to help you out there as well. All right, that's y'all's morning update for today. You guys take it easy, be good, stay safe, and we'll see you on the next update. Y'all have a great